Okay, today's June 10th, 2014. Let's take a look at the market and some of the stock. Today we got a little bit of a pullback, but not much of a damage. It'd be nice to see a little bit more of a consolidation, but it seems like the market just doesn't want to yield. So let's take a look at the S&P 500. We're saying, that it was, on the weekend video, we're talking about coming up to this 161, possibly hitting this 1956, resistance level, and certainly did that yesterday, and then today is kind of, pull back a little bit with a little bit of a hangman candle, but it's nothing to write home about. I don't think there's any major concern here. Maybe somebody would interpret this as an evening star formation, but that would not be the case. I wouldn't be surprised that we might see a rebound tomorrow and might even go retest this 1956 again, or with this symmetrical move. Basically, on this trace out is somewhere around the 1960 level, the 1959.15. So who knows? Tomorrow it might, if it pull back, it could pull back down to this 141 extension. We're talking about that the possibility to come back down to this 127 because there's a little bit of a price congestion here at the 1926. But anything is possible right now. We're basically looking at somewhere around the 1960 level on the upside, and maybe possibly the 1938 on the downside, just for the near term. And then if we take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial, the Dow Jones 30 also kind of tagged this 127 resistance level of 16,945. We also was talking about that the 17,000 basically is a target, and I believe on Monday we hit 16,970. Let me put up the data box here to see what's the high here on this. Yeah, it's basically 16,970.20. So we probably will see a little bit of a movement up here and maybe try to make its way up to this 141 extension, the 17,049. So that would tag that 17,000 level. So basically, that's what I'm kind of expecting. If we're going to pull back, it might be, pull back down to this 16,800 to this 16,750 area here, this 745. But that's going to take a couple of days to pull back down to this level. But it seems like right now the momentum is still on the upside. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it. And then the NASDAQ 100, the NASDAQ 100 again, we were talking about, possibly getting up to this 3826. So right now it's still kind of hovering there, and with Apple continue to move, and also Netflix kind of got to upgrade on the price target. So some of these big cap tech stock is basically help pushing the Nasdaq 100. So wouldn't be surprised to see this move to be sort of a continuation. Because we're also talking about this little bit of a bull flag here that possibly could give us a retracement on a further upward, a little bit higher level. So let's see if we do this here. Okay, and so we're essentially talking about even on the 786, the 80% move. So it's getting a little bit of a confluence up here on the 141. So, and here's at 3,900. So there's always those possibility. But at least right now that 618 is a confluence with this 127, on the Fibonacci retracement. So that 3826 is a formable resistance level here, or a target level that the Nasdaq might be hitting. And then the Russell 2000, we have this Russell 2000 we're talking about that it get up to this basically this level here, somewhere around the the 1140 area, and then once you get up above that, and if we could take out this 1156, then we're talking about getting up to this pivot level, which is somewhere around 1181. Right? And right now it's essentially pretty, coming up close to that 1181. And if we could take out that 1181, then we're expecting it to come up to this 1193. And it's much more clear if we take a look at the IWM on the ETF. We essentially was talking about this 115 level here, right? This pivot. If we could take out this 115, then we say it's going to come up and tag this 117 level. So you could see that we tagged that on Monday, and kind of pull back a little bit today. So if we could, make it above this 117, then we're essentially looking for it to come up to hit this 118, attack this 118 pivot, and possibly, once it break through there, then might be coming up to, go and retest the previous all-time high and possibly put in a new all-time high. Then I think that will, attract much more of these non-committed sign liner to come back into the market, and that maybe will give us a little bit of a euphoric type of run up before everybody go on vacation or something. So anyway, let's take a look at the let's go back and take a look at the spider also. So we're talking about the spider here, this 196. Right, so it's kind of a little bit of a pullback here. So essentially, we're still looking at that. And if we're going to pull back, it's basically going to pull back somewhere around this 193 area, this 192.86, somewhere around here. Okay, so that's basically what I'm looking at on the spider as a possibility. But like I said, I think there's still some more upside momentum, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing, getting a further higher level here, right? Because also, if we also be looking at this symmetrical move here, right? We're also basically looking at this, 196.69 and 196.70 level. Okay. Now let's go and take a look at Apple. Apple just doesn't seem to want to give up any of the gain. It just move up again, and right now it still continue to march higher. And I wouldn't be surprised right now. Essentially we got this little bit of a looking at this here like a sort of like a bull flag. If I go and do this, right, and we're essentially looking at this level here. So this is the flagpole, and then we do a major move. Then we've already sort of exceeded that 80%, major move, and then that 100% will be somewhere around this 96.35. Then the other thing is I also was kind of looking at the the Fibonacci retracement using this particular swing here, right, to this level here. Then you can see that the 161 is somewhere around the 97.67. Then if we go back and take a look at the on a weekly price level, so you see that 161, pretty close to near this previous all-time high here. So that's a maybe possible target for Apple to come up before we see any kind of substantial correction here. So definitely it's Apple being very strong, and anybody trying to short this thing, I would say it's pretty crazy. I've been waiting for it to pull back a little bit, so it kind of give me a setup to get back in ever since I got out, my last trade at 604. So just kind of still waiting. If it give me the opportunity, then I get in. If it's not, hey, I'll look at something else. We're here. You have to remember, as a trader, our primary objective is to make money. It's not to go and trade Apple. We could trade whatever stock that it will make you money. So it'd be nice, if you could catch the Apple on this move, But if you can't, don't force it, because otherwise, you go chase after a stock that has these kind of momentum, and you never know when it start pulling back. Then you might be get caught on this pullback. Then then you probably be kicking yourself to making that that rush to to trade Apple. So, but for those that is holding Apple long, then hey, congratulations. I mean, I would be continue to hold this thing until it stop running, and certainly right now it just continue to run. And the other one we want to look at is Facebook. We're talking about Facebook breaking that 64 level, right? And it finally did. Look at today. Today is really booked to that 64. Now it's getting up here. We're basically looking at maybe possibility of getting up to the 66 area, 66, 67, somewhere around here, on these low level here. Okay, because certainly this thing is also getting pretty strong. And if we also take a look at some of the Fibonacci retracement up here, you can see that it's come up on the 618. So essentially, if we get up to this 68 level, somewhere around these, this particular pivot, then that would be a 78.6. So, but I think the first level that we might see a little bit of resistance maybe on this pivot here, some of these price levels somewhere around the 66, 67 area. So just keep an eye on that. It certainly is pretty strong. As also, if you can look at this pullback as a little bit of a bull flag, and again, if we do a little bit of a major move, using maybe possibly this level as the flagpoles, and then you do a measure up here. So the 80% here is pretty close to this pivot level here, somewhere around the, that 67, 68 level, right? So the 67 level here. Then on a 100, Accenture is getting up to this pivot on a 100% near this 68, 69 area. So you might want to keep those level on watch. And then Amazon, Amazon is still continuing to go up, and again, it's booked through this price channel. Let me shrink this up. So it books through this price channel right now. We're basically looking for it to come up to tag this 337. Okay, so and here's the first break. So and Twitter. We're also looking at Twitter. It seems like Twitter is forming a base and might get a little bit of a run. And we're talking about that. If we get up here, then that could be a possibility to come up if we tag this level here somewhere around the 35.50. If we could get into this gap here and fill this gap, then the next thing is it could be come up and try to hit this target of 46. So right now, certainly Twitter looked like it want to make a little bit of a upward movement here and see could it get in and fill this gap. If we could get into this gap the next couple of days, it'd be interesting to see how quickly it come up and fill this gap here. If it fill this gap, then certainly there could be some further upside potential. And then Tesla is still kind of waiting for it to break through that, that little bull flag that has been forming. This little flag here seems like it's taking a little bit more time, and I wouldn't be surprised that it might be pulling back here to this near this 200 levels to kind of do a little bit more of an extensive flag. This little bit of a pullback. Possibly coming, doing this here. Right? Maybe we get another flag. A little zigzag coming down. Do this, and then break out this way. So we just have to keep an eye on it because you never know. I mean, it could always just reverse and then break about this trend line. Essentially, that's what we want to see. We want to see it break that trend line. So right now, we're essentially looking at somewhere around this 210 area. Okay. So, and if we could break that, then with the little bit of a major move, and if we projected, let's say to break out the flag, bottom of that flag is over here, then still, this 220, it give us that 618, and that's one of the resistance level that we have to watch is the 220, and then that 100 retracement that will be basically up at this pivot level, somewhere around this, 230 area, right? Okay, so then on Google, Google is also, sort of breaking out on this little bit of a bull flag here, and we had a little bit of a retracement, a major move, and you see that these are still the level is somewhere around 591 for that 80% retracement, and it could be anywhere down at this pivot level here, which is 587. So we're basically looking at 587 to 591, that area for this flag to move up, and if we could, move to and do 100% retracement on this flagpole major move, then it will basically get us up to somewhere around the 602. So certainly, we're looking at, it came back down to the zone here, right? We're talking about this zone to get that support, which it did. So did a nice little bounce here. So I've been surprised. See how this little bit of a doji, spinning doji, spinning top doji will do if it kind of, maybe just kind of consolidate one more day or something like that and then push it up, then that certainly will be pretty positive. Then the other one that we sort of looked at today was LinkedIn, and you see LinkedIn right here, basically talking about this 164.40, somewhere around this baseline. If we could break through that, because right now it's moving up above that 50-day moving average, and here's the 20 EMA is also coming up. So if we could break about that, then we might be able to see it to maybe come up and tag this, 179, this area here. There is this trend line coming down, so that could pose eventually some potential resistance if it could make above this 179, 180. But that would be somewhere around maybe the confluence is between this pivot 185 to that trend line here, right? So that would be also another thing that might be of interesting to keep an eye on. So basically, that's it for tonight, and hopefully you have a profitable trading day tomorrow. Good luck.